The ninth concept of narcissism is moral reasoning. Hi, I'm Dan Cassenti. I'm a cognitive psychologist and I'm a novelist. I'm putting together this YouTube series on concepts of narcissism in an attempt to give people knowledge about narcissism so they can keep out of narcissistic relationships or get out of them. So moral reasoning is not a good thing to be lacking. This is the way that we keep ourselves from crossing boundaries, from hurting other people. The rest of us have moral boundaries, things that we can't possibly do. It gives us a sick feeling to even think about crossing a moral boundary. And so we can use moral reasoning to figure out, okay, if I did this might hurt these other people. Well, I better not do that. I'll shift gears and try this other approach. Unfortunately, narcissists don't have this buffer against the kinds of things that they do. They don't care if they hurt other people. They don't care if they're crossing a moral boundary. It doesn't matter to them. They're not going to be thinking about it at all. Now, again, inabilities doesn't mean they never have the ability to do this, but it's selective. And in moral reasoning's case, the moral reasoning applies to everybody else except for the narcissist. They will come to you and claim that you're immoral if you crossed any line, or they perceived you to cross any line, or they didn't even perceive you to, but they just want to lie to you about it so that you feel bad. So it's for everybody else. Moral reasoning can apply. They can do a great job figuring out how they can explain how somebody did cross a moral boundary. They can use reasoning to do that. They have moral reasoning when it comes to that, but when it comes to their own stuff, it's like they just forget. It's like it X's out at the point of self versus others. And you will see narcissists do that all the time. They will shame you to no end. And of course, shaming you often involves telling you that you crossed moral boundaries. Now, if a narcissist has ever successfully shamed you, you know how horrible that can feel. It can make you feel 2 inches tall. But I want to prop you up a little bit, because if you have been shamed by a narcissist with their moral reasoning used as a cudgel against you, it's because you have such great moral reasoning. You can't feel shame about something if you don't feel like it's a big deal. So because you have moral reasoning, they were able to do that to you. It shows that you're probably a pretty good person, and you should recognize that about yourself and give yourself some credit. And then go ahead and pity the narcissist a little bit, not all the way. We don't want to pity them too much, or we invite them into our lives so that we can help them. We don't want to help a narcissist. They're not going to be helped. But you can pity them just enough to see that they don't apply that moral reasoning to themselves when they're acting. But unfortunately, they can't escape from it entirely. The moral reasoning comes in after they do something wrong. And this is usually when they come back around to you and say you did something wrong, because it's all about projection with the narcissist. So they're constantly pushing onto you what they don't want to accept about themselves. So when they feel like they have crossed a moral boundary, they often come up with some convoluted reasoning to figure out how to make it so that you were the one who did bad, not them. If they can foist the problem onto you, then you are taking that on and it relieves them of their burden, or so they think. But it's really hard to just completely disallow moral reasoning when you have it, when it's applied to other people. It is going to seep in and it's going to make them feel bad. So, again, it's just like I keep saying in these videos, narcissists have a lot of internal shame, and that's just something that is constant about them. So when they do cross moral boundaries and they hurt other people, that little voice inside their head that they wish would go away is telling them, you're a terrible person, you're a terrible person. And just repeating that over and over again, it makes them feel smaller and smaller. And then they try to turn that around on you. Okay, so if you like this video, please hit like. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. The more you do that, the more these videos get out to other people. Thanks, and I hope this helped.